When I got my own place, I remember I was getting gang stalked. Prior to that, I saved my money. I was working really hard. I saved up and I moved to my own place in less than 3 months because I had roommates. I didn't like that I was sharing a place with people, particularly people who didn't have ambition. They were just partying, making noise, and they were disturbing my peace because I was working, not just any kind of work, particularly the medical field. So I needed to get rest before I go take care of people's lives, like people literally have their lives on my hand. I needed to be well rested. I had every right to complain. Yeah, I told the landlord about it. She said she was gonna address it, but the issue just escalated and I didn't have the energy to go back and forth with her, so I just moved to my own place. For one, a lot of people would say just stay and fight through it and fight the person, whatever, right? But I literally had to put my priorities in order, either argue with her or use that energy to put it where I was putting it in the first place, which is working in the medical field and raising my standards, working on my status and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I didn't argue. I'm glad I moved right away, but I did address the issue on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. I'll put it in the description box. It's on my other YouTube channel. I'll put the link to the video. So I'll take you back when I first rented the place. I was not happy where I was before I started renting the room. I was sleeping on someone's couch. I was like, this is not the way. I have to work hard and get myself out of the situation, which I did. It took me only 2 weeks to get a job and save money and get out of that situation. So when we agreed, I signed the lease and everything, she said there was not going to be any, let me rephrase that. She said there was not going to be any male roommates because, that's one thing that I was adamant about. I don't want any male roommates, Yeah, I have my reasons and I have every right, you know what I mean? Especially with like sexual assault going around and stuff like that. The last thing you want is like a male roommate. And a lot of people are gonna say, oh, you're making assumptions, not all men are like that, blah blah blah. But I lived in a big city. I have to take extra care of myself. I can't just say, oh, I can't make assumptions, blah blah blah. There are some things you can't make assumptions off of, but in my case, where I lived, it's horrible, you guys. So like I have to be really, really careful. Like I know girls who got raped. I know girls who are just, they're being sexually assaulted, and I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to put that label on me. I don't want, someone to sexually assault me and think it's okay to do it, and like other guys now feel, I'm an easy target and they go after me, you know what I mean? So, after I moved, she had her husband over and she moved another guy, and let me tell you, the place was horrible. It was awful, you guys. These people were just fighting, arguing, and just, I don't know. And I was like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I do like 12-hour shift, 24-hour shift, and I want to, go home where I paid money, to rest. And there's still noise. I'm like, what the heck? And I was not the only person who was complaining. There was another girl who was renting a room. She was working but not in the medical field. And I remember one of the guys, because like I don't, you know, I don't get close to them because, you know, I don't want to be a victim, you know. And when they're in the kitchen, I don't go to the kitchen. I just like go for a walk or something. And, you know, I was just very, very strategic on how I was protecting myself, protecting my feminine energy. Yeah, like I actually did well, but that doesn't mean what the lady did, the landlord, was right. You know what I mean? If she was going to rent a place to other males, she should have told me in the first place. You know, I would have found another place, you know. So with the other girl, and I would be in my room, right? And she's just cursing the guy out. She's like, "Don't touch me, don't look at me, don't do this." So like I was not the only victim that I was like complaining about him being a creep and stuff like that. Even her, but she was there, she was close to him, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I know what I'm capable of. You know, the only reason I got a room is because, you know, it's better to share a place, you know what I mean, clean and stuff like that. But I'm like, this is not in my standards. So it's time for me to skedoodle, you know, just get out of that situation, find a place of my own. And which I did, you know what I mean? And prior to that, you know, I was having like hard time finding like affordable place and stuff like that. You guys know I'm very spiritual, so in a sense I manifested the new place. I didn't stress about it. I didn't do anything. I just, you know, I just said, okay, if, you know, whatever happens. However, I was still doing the work. I was still looking for a place that's suitable for me, and just everything that I need for my needs, you know. I did that before I went to bed. You know, I went to bed with a clear mind, clear conscious, you know, not worried where I'm gonna live and stuff like that. So the next morning I woke up and then I went on Craigslist. Craigslist is big in British Columbia if you want to move there. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just trying to help out. If you're a TI, you're trying to move to Vancouver, whatever, Craigslist is the main source. That's what it's called, the main website. And Facebook Marketplace. So as I said, I went on Craigslist. I was looking for a place, and I found a place for $750, you guys. It was the nicest place compared to BC. And you know, because I was telling the landlords I want to move from here. I was giving them 2 weeks notice, you know what I mean? And they were like, oh, just take the basement. The basement's like $800, and I have to share washroom with them, and the, you know, the kitchen is still for $800, you guys. However, the new place that I found, you know, it had its own washroom, my own kitchen, and you know, I don't have to share with anyone. It was a detached house. It's not a basement or anything, or ground level basement. It was a completely detached house, you know, one of those houses. There's like a house, like, you know, beside the street, like close to the street, and then it's literally in the backyard, because the backyard is huge, and it's called a cottage. And I was like, I swear, I was so happy. It had everything I needed. There was a creek. So like I said, I'm very into spirituality, so I need to spend time alone. I don't like chaotic environment. I don't like being around people who, you know, steal my peace. Well, they try to steal my peace. They can't steal it. So, you know, I was really, really happy. And then there was, like I said, there was like a creek. Everything was closed. The neighborhood was really quiet. You know, there was a park, like hiking, like a mountain beside me. Everything was so perfect. And my room was really big. You know, it's bigger than the room that I was renting, you know, which was like the same price as, you know, the new place that I got for like $700, $750. Because, you know, I'm good with money management. I don't like to pay hydro separately. I have to pay it with the house together. And still, I'm responsible. I don't, you know, go over to, you know, I don't bring them a lot of like light bills and stuff like that. I'm very, very responsible. And two, I don't even spend time at the place because I said I go to work. At the time I used to go to work all the time. My own living room, everything my own. So I applied for it and about 80 people applied and I was the chosen one. I told them everything about me, you know what I mean? There's this thing called like cover letter. You don't have to do it, but it's a good way to present yourself. It's a good way to, introduce yourself. I told them my situation, how, my current place at the time was affecting me and my work and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, you should come by and, interview you and see how you're like in person and stuff like that, right? Because, I'm renting their place. I went there and they liked me because I went with my mom, my siblings, and my stepdad. And because, the whole family have to be involved. Because it's Craigslist. So it's like, hey. But when we got there, they were really nice. They were so nice. It was just her the first time that I went, the lady, and then she liked me and she's like, oh, we would like to invite you back because, my husband would like to meet you guys. So we went back and then I got the place. Yay! Wee! And so I'll tell you how I got the place. It's my reputation, that's for sure, my work ethic, and the way I live. I don't bring people's property down, you know what I mean? In fact, people are the one that trying to bring my value down so I don't find a place and a peaceful, environment and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I'm not a party goer, like I don't party. Like ever since I got a place, I never ever invited my friends over. If you want a party, like we rent out like a party place or a restaurant and we just like dine there. We don't even like partying, we don't like drinking, and I don't even stay out past 10. I just get back home and I go to sleep, So I'm not about the fast life. I'm not about the drinking and drugs and partying. I'm not like that, okay? And there's a good reason, One, that's not who I am as a person. And two, I don't like to bring my value down, you know what I mean? When you drink, you stay up all night. It's not, for one, it's not good for your health. Two, you're affecting your reputation. And three, you are, inviting people that, you don't want to associate with, you know what I mean? Bad friends and stuff like that, So they gave me the key because, I was working hard and those people were, stressing me out and stuff like that. So I moved my stuff and I gave my damage deposit. I paid my rent for that month. It was August 2018. And, I moved my stuff and then we went on a vacation to Kelowna with my family. We drove there. It's like a few hours. It's like 5 hours drive. But it's worth it. It was really, really nice. We stayed there for a day and then we went back to the lower mainlands. I'm not gonna say where, but like the lower mainlands. I tell you, the place that I found, it was really nice. You know what I mean? Because, I was telling you, it's like the lower mainland. It was not in Surrey. If I found it in Surrey, it would make sense because Surrey is very bad. Surrey, New Westminster, some parts of Benarnaby, but this was like in a suburbs. It was in a rich area, you guys. Just because of my reputation, I got like a good ass discount. You know what I mean? Like I said, no one wants a partier and stuff like that, and people think that, oh, she has this privilege, what's so special about her, like, why is she getting things for a discount, blah blah blah. It's like, it's what I worked for, it's my reputation, you guys. Nothing about me is special. Like, I worked really hard to be where I am in life. Nothing in this world is free. I did some shit when I was young, you know what I mean? When I was young, I kept myself out of trouble. Like, my reputation, my references, everything is really good. It's a win-win because, like I said, I bring the property value up, and at the same time I get a discount, right? And on top of that, I'm a pretty girl. Like, I don't like leaving the house any type of way, like makeup, hair. I present myself really, really well, not just my resume, not just my work, yeah. So, because some people were not happy. Like, I remember one particular girl. I know she used to hang out with my, she's in the same group, not work, not group, but like not work with, I say, it was not even dating this guy that I used to know. I rejected him because I don't want anything to do with him. And, she was just going to places where I go, like vacations. I posted like pictures of me going to Kelowna with like different outfits, on my vacation, just doing my thing. And, she did the same shit. I'm like, what the hell? And that guy, like, he had no drive. He had nothing going on for himself. And I didn't want to hang out with that not work because I know they're not who they are, like who they say they are. It's like fake work ethic. Like, people who work hard, they can actually see right through it. It's just fake. So I don't want to be part of it. Like, I want something real, people who actually work hard, people who actually care about their reputation, you know what I mean? So, there were them that were trying to get me, fired. They were trying to get my place taken from me because, like I said, I was like out of like 80 people that I was chosen to live there, you know what I mean? And there was like another lady, I don't even know. She was, like I said, she lived all the way in Texas. I don't even know how you live all the way in Texas and I live in Canada and you're offended by me. It was so weird. And then I realized it was all like a network of people trying to take me down, because I don't want to be part of them. What they're trying to sell me, I didn't buy it because it was fake. It could be real for other people, but for me it was fake. I had higher standards than that, you know what I mean? And I don't want to settle for what they were trying to sell me. And one of the things that they were trying to sell me is, how like in the black community, they, not every black person, but I noticed this, there's this dark skin and a lighter complexion women. They just get together. I don't know, it's just so weird, you know what I mean? There's no any true connections. It's just like a darker skinned man has to get with a lighter skinned woman. There's some sort of agenda behind it, and I was not having it. I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, I want a true, genuine connection. Because I know this lady, she's a lighter skin and her husband is dark skin, you know what I mean? And he's one of those guys who are color stroke, you know what I mean? Color stroke? color struck, you know what I mean? They don't care what the woman looks like as long as she's, lighter complexion. And I was not having it. I'm like, nah. And the lady, I think she's like half Latina and half black, but she looks mainly Latina, but she promotes dark skinned men and lighter skinned women. And the guy that I rejected, when I saw all of his like ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, it didn't matter what they look like, as long as they're lighter, and they have good hair, quote unquote long hair, curly hair. It didn't matter to him, I think because he was bald or something like that. I was 26 and he has no hairline. His hairline is so back far, I was like, this is bullshit. Because, I was lighter than him. He was trying to do the same thing with me. I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of it one bit. This is weird. Like, I want someone to like me for me. I have other things that I can offer, and I just like my skin tone, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be fetishized. I don't want to, that weird shit. So I left, and, it pissed a lot of people off. It just pissed them off. And I could tell women who fell for that, for like dark skin and lighter women, promotion and stuff like that, they're not happy. They are so miserable, you guys. And I'm glad I saw it earlier, because y'all, right now I settled with a man who is lighter than me. He is half black and half white, light skinned black man, and like I'm so happy. Like I'm like really, really happy, you know what I mean? And our marriage, our connection is deeper than skin color, skin tones in the black community, you know what I mean? He understands me on a deeper level. He gets my emotional needs, my spirituality. He just gets me who I am as a person. And he does love my skin tone. He loves my curvaceous body, my hair, everything, you know what I mean? Like, he accepts me. He doesn't like it in a fetish way, but he accepts me. That's the key word, accepts me. There's a difference between accepting someone for who they are and fetishizing them. So I'm gonna go back to the house topic. So people just went out of their way to, get me fired, lose my place and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? And I lived there for a year. Not because, because I didn't lose the place because of them, I wanted to move. I had other goals, just because I settled there for a while doesn't mean I want to stay there for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? And I was making plans to move to a gated community. Yeah, I wanted to move to the gated community because shit was getting crazy, and I'm like, I'm famous now. I can't be a civilian out here, people would get me. People are trying to get me fired, I'm hated, so I needed like a gated community. And at the time I was not married. My husband and I, we were just starting out like dating, and then I realized something in that moment, because I was trying to hire security guards, trying to hire like I said, security guards, I don't know why I keep saying it again. Have like a gated community and trying to be as secure as I can physically. And then I realized something when I was getting to know my husband, when we were dating. I realized, oh shit, I don't need it because my husband's protecting me. I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't do it. I didn't hired all of this stuff. My husband was doing it behind the scene, because he's in the public eye, so like he knows what goes on behind the scenes. So like he was teaching me new strategies on how to keep myself safe, and he was there with me the whole time, but he still teaches me, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he moved me to another place. He hid me there when I was like in BC, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm at peace, and when I was in that house, he was sending me money through the government, because like I would get like $3,000 check, $5,000 check, $600 check from nowhere. I'm like, where's this money? I know for sure the government doesn't give you that much money, you know what I mean? And for one, I don't like social assistance. I don't know, I just don't like it no matter how much I need it. I don't know, I feel like it limits you. Like $3,000, $5,000. And then I realized it was him doing it behind the scene. I was like, oh, it's my husband. Like, I know it's my husband. Because I know, like, a lot of, like, I know, like, I just don't trust people, particularly men. I say men because, you know, when you let a man in, you know, you have to let them in, like, intimately, like, on an emotional level. That's why I don't trust men. But I trust one man, okay? That's singular, not plural. I don't trust other men, okay? I'm a Scorpio moon, you guys know, if you have that placement. Trust is a thing for us, you know? He has proven himself over and over, so I have, you know, nothing to be scared of, nothing to be distrustful of him. But, you know, we're married, right? We're a couple, and I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, we don't have our issues, you know? Otherwise, we would be fake, like, you know, because it's marriage. We're totally, completely vulnerable with each other, you know what I mean? There are some things that, you know, he does that pisses me off time to time, but that's another topic for another day. Anywho, back to the places, right? Because they just went out of their way to get in my head. They're like, oh, and one thing that they wanna, you know, put doubts in, it was like my looks, like how I looked and stuff like that. You know, they were talking shit about my hair, my nails. All of it didn't look bad, but they were just trying to put doubts in my head. They were trying to make me feel like I can't do anything in this world, when in actuality, that's them who are bums. They were trying to project their own insecurities on me, and I was not having it, you know what I mean? So fast forward, because, you know, I went on about my business. I didn't get any revenge or anything, but my husband, he's a Scorpio, you know, and the last thing you want to do is, like, hurt his wife. So, you know, I'll tell you guys the the revenge that he got. You know, he will tell you by himself. Go check out his music. I'll put it in the description box. You know, and he's a rapper. You know, you don't play with rappers, especially well-known rappers and their wives. You know what I mean? So hey, they started it, so they had it coming. And I'm just sitting back, drinking my tea, and just watch everything unfold, you know? And one thing that I'm glad I did is, like, I didn't do anything crazy. That's, like, what they wanted me to do, to react so they can justify what they were doing to me. You know, one of the things that I was doing is, like, ignoring them. It's not that I was being a punk, because I know that, like, I had a lot to lose. I can't react. That's exactly what they wanted me to do. React, you know, incriminate myself and lose everything that I worked hard for, you know what I mean? I know the games that they were playing. You know, when you get to my position, you know, a lot of people want to sue you, and a lot of people want your spot, you know what I mean? They just want to, they will do anything in their power to take it from you. And if you can work as hard as to sustain your material possession, you know, you can work hard to fight those people off from getting it, you know? And it's not hard to fight them. They're just lazy. They just don't want to do the work and get it themselves. They rather steal it from you know, someone else, you know what I mean? And that's, like, another thing too. They will try to say that you stole shit, you know what I mean? But in actuality, they're the ones that with criminal records, you know, they're the ones that who are going around, you know, provoking people so they could lose their house. They're the stealers. They're the actual thieves, not us, not TIs. They're the ones. They're just trying to project their own bad character onto good people, you know what I mean? And they want to take your good character. You know, they don't just want to take your material possession, but your good character as well. Your work ethic, your your good heart, your soul, because these people are empty. They don't have nothing. They have nothing to offer the world. They're leashes, they're taking humanity backwards, so they're just, they're not comfortable in their own skin, so they're trying to get under your own, they're trying to get in your skin, under your skin. Someone said that, like narcissism and stuff like that, narcissism video. I watch a lot of narcissism because, they all have like the same mind. They think the same. They're not original. Again, because they're empty on the inside. They don't have a real self. They don't have, they're not individual. They're just, I wouldn't even say sheeps because, they're just way too corrupted, Anywho, so I'm okay now. They try to take, everything that I worked for at the time. Now my husband, he moved me into an even better home. Well, he's moving me. Like $100,000 mansion, he's been building it for so long, and hopefully one day we'll make a home tour and stuff like that, and I'll put his home tour, our home tour, in the description box.